Celeste is the best game to hit a Nintendo console this year. But what makes it so great? I assert that Celeste is so good because of how well it relates to us as gamers and as people who struggle with anxieties. Its story teaches the player how to overcome their own trials. Celeste follows the story of Madeline, a young adult woman, as she climbs Celeste Mountain. As the story begins, it becomes apparent that Madeline has some self-esteem issues, but the deeper you go, the more you realize that Madeline is suffering from full-blown depression and anxiety. Over the course of the game, Madeline learns to overcome her nervous breakdowns. She learns to love herself and those around her despite her weaknesses. Because of these struggles, Madeline is easily the most relatable character I have ever played as. Sure, she has magic dash powers that the mountain gives to her, but other than that, she's just your average young lady struggling with depression. Is it necessary to climb a mountain to overcome anxiety and depression? The answer in Madeline's case is yes. For anyone else, I would say yes too. The struggles of climbing a mountain can be applied directly to how a person is trying to live life with a mental illness. It is always an uphill battle, sometimes even struggling just to get out of bed in the morning, then to go to work or school, then come home and deal with life there, then to realize that you don't have enough money, then to feel like you are failing the ones you love. Every single one of those things and anything you struggle with can be like your own Mount Celeste. Madeline's actions throughout the story give a near-perfect example of how to overcome mental illness. If applied, the tenacity and decisiveness that Madeline displayed could help us all overcome the trials we face. Let's talk about how the things Madeline did could apply to us. In the first level, Madeline speaks with an old woman. She scoffs, telling her that climbing the mountain will be the hardest thing she's ever done. Madeline accepts this fact and continues onward. Like Madeline, we need to accept that the trials we are facing are difficult. Later on, Madeline meets a fellow hiker, Theo. From that point on, she is not making this journey alone. She learns to trust Theo, and in turn, he is able to help her fight through her anxieties. Surrounding ourselves with helpful, positive people is important, but we also need to be willing to accept their help. Losing ourselves in the service of others is a great way to take the focus off of mental or emotional struggles. In the abandoned hotel, Madeline meets Mr. Oshiro, a friendly ghost with some insecurities. He still thinks the hotel is operational and attempts to get Madeline to stay with him there. Not wanting to hurt his feelings, but also not wanting to stay there, Madeline helps him clean the hotel. She talks about how it is nice to do something good for once. It helps her forget her own trials. I feel that these three simple things can help a person overcome the symptoms of depression and anxiety. I am in no way saying that depression and anxiety should not be treated clinically. They are real medical issues that require treatment. The hope is that the symptoms of depression and anxiety could be alleviated by taking advantage of the example that Madeline said. She first acknowledged that it would be a hard thing to deal with. Then she accepted help from Theo. Finally, she did what she could to help others, namely Mr. Oshiro. While I am no expert on the subject of mental illness, I have done my fair share of struggling with it. I have found for myself that these things do help. At first, Madeline's journey to climb Celeste seems like the reason many of us play games, to escape the real world. However, it turns into a beautiful story of a person overcoming trial through perseverance, accepting help, and helping others.